Hey guys, Adam Fennig here with Fennig Equipment. You're tuned into the Talking Shed. Today we're in the shop. We've got another Kinze 2600. This one is a 12 row. We're doing some updates to it, some row cleaners, some closing wheels, some cool stuff with the fertilizer. Let's turn this thing around and jump in. So here we go. We've got another Kinze 12 row 2600, and we've had a lot of these planters and a lot of planters through the shop really here this winter and spring, doing a lot of different things. So let's dive into everything that we're doing on this one. Now he's doing 2x2 and in furrow. His in furrow tanks are up there on the tractor, so that's going to run through the Keaton seed firmer that we'll get here in a second. These tanks here are all going to be 2x2, so we're getting ready to tee all of those together. Here's this fill port down here, filter, hose, and it's all ran with this his ground drive John Blue piston pump down there on the end. So that's what's powering the fertilizer system. Now right here front and center we've got our red ball tower, big very visible gauges, nice bright and shiny, easy to see pink red balls. You don't see those every day. But we come in and we've got 1/4 inch line running to our in furrow, 3/8 air line running to our 2x2. So it's really nice how these red balls mount with our tree. We've got in furrow on the bottom, 2x2 up top. You can just look back real easily and see all that. Now let's go back to talk about the fertilizer distribution, and of course that is with the totally tubular stainless tube system. These are tried and true. We've talked about them a lot. They're just so dang simple and easy. They're hard to beat. We're piecing them together with this Y splitter. Going to have an orifice here on each side of that Y splitter. Get her out of there. Orifice will be housed right inside there. Then we've got our check valve. So super easy system to run. It is adjustable kind of side to side, and you can tilt this a little bit. But when it comes to fertilizer placement, there's no simpler way, cleaner, keeps that fertilizer off the planter. So that's what we're doing with the fertilizer system. From there, we did some wear parts on this thing. So we did the RK tailpiece wear kit. So we welded on this bushing, put that bearing in place. And I've talked about it before, but man, that just takes all of the play out of there, puts that bearing in, and that's the last time you'll ever have to mess with those. From there, we did the gauge wheel replacement kit. What this does is it really tightens up any slop that you had in that gauge wheel, and again, gives you a better design, easier to adjust down the road. Of course, we're using the Yetter Poly Twister closing wheels. Now these are lefts and rights. I've talked about that quite a few times, and they are oriented right here with markings. Right there's an L in the direction of travel. So they're easy to put on. But when we're talking the closing wheels, you know, we've got this 1¼ inch gap down here, and that ties in directly with this RK bushing kit, because if you don't have the bearing kit, or I should say if you do have slop in your tailpiece, this measurement right here never really matters, because if you've got a 1/2 or 3/4 inch movement back here on this tailpiece, it doesn't really matter what your spacing is. You're always going to have closing wheels that are too far away from the seed trench. So those are very important as well. I talked about the Keaton seed firmers earlier in the video. This is the placement or the mode of action for the in furrow system. Pretty standard equipment there, but the quick attach feature is a must-have to be able to just reach up there, grab it, and pull it down to change. So a lot going on back here in the back. And then we're going to top it off with the Yetter row cleaners. These are the Yetter 029 series for 30-inch planters. These can have an air cylinder added so that you can just dial in your height from the cab. But right now these are designed to use with this pin. Now this pin sets the bottom. So it's not pinned rigid. What it does is whether you put it in any of these holes, these are on 1/8 inch increments, that sets how low that row cleaner can go. It can always float up above that pin, but it can never go down below it. That's its stop. So that's what we're doing today, talking about this 12 row Kinze 2600, doing some fertilizer, doing some closing wheels, row cleaners, wear parts, a little bit of everything. So that's what we're doing today. Give us a call if you want to get your planner in the shop or have us take a look at it. Thanks for tuning in.